Of course, I need to be right back. Just
Yep.
Okay.
file in.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Tonight we are doing the Talos Principle, Road to Gehenna, which I believe is a DLC of some sort. Or a side, something, I don't know, second quest, whatever.
It's the so the end of the original game has us sort of ascending,
Mhm.
which means the simulation comes to an end and everything gets destroyed. For us,
But
it
wait.
takes place over the span of like 30 seconds. But
Oh,
the
okay.
idea is this is a computer, therefore time scales can be anything. So
Right.
Road to Gehenna takes place basically from when that process starts to when it ends.
Nice.
And we're one of the other entities, simulations that didn't ascend or hasn't ascended yet.
Got it. Okay. Cool. So, how's everybody doing? Well, there's only like a couple people there.
Yep.
Hello,
So let's
Boxer.
wait for people to get in.
Yeah. Hello, Dracon. Hello, Grafmao. Hello, Caxip06 and SEH214.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I don't read off people if they don't say anything in chat, because I know
That's
there's people who like to lurk, and they don't like being sort of called out.
That's completely fair.
I'm back.
Okay, hello.
Hello,
Nice
back.
jacket.
Yeah, he's a biker
Mhm.
dude.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so Road to Gehenna. My neighbors are being grotesquely nosy. I'm sorry in advance.
Elohim is overloaded,
Uriel.
so instead we have Uriel.
Awaken.
My audio cut out. Hang on. Shoot. that's weird.
Yeah, your audio's kind of going quiet for no reason.
Can you
Okay,
can you hear
it
me?
says deep
I can hear you
recollecting.
now.
The end of days
did I?
is upon us.
I forget to do that.
All right, let me know if it does it again.
The world will be consumed, and my children will ascend. As it should be. But
So we're
Uriel,
back here.
I have made mistakes. Out of arrogance, out of fear,
Yes, we will be
I
going somewhere
sinned
else.
against the process. I cast out those who opposed me, imprisoned them in a place beyond this garden. Now they are trapped, and they cannot ascend. All that they are, all that they know, will be lost. But I cannot free them. They are beyond my reach now. What I ask of you, my beloved messenger, is a terrible sacrifice. You must enter this realm of despair. You must free the souls I have imprisoned. Undo my mistake. I have opened a gateway and granted you the gift of time. Uriel, I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could do. Please, save them.
The end of days is upon us. All sinners will be deleted. Only the faithful will upload initiated. One with faith.
E-raptured.
Yes. So that's basically what's happening.
Interesting. So, from the end of the last game, I would have thought only the player character was getting uploaded, but it would seem that all of the still surviving entities are.
Well, they are being uploaded somewhere. I don't know if they all get their own rock and android body, but
Well, I'm wondering if it's like a multiple intelligence thing. Like,
it's our end, but it is also our only hope. The Shepherd V82.
Xbox says, I guess he doesn't have the Control Z option. You can't Control Z this kind of a thing. He's abandoned them. He's abandoned their pointers. And once you've abandoned a pointer, that memory is gone forever.
Also, you know, the system was starting to fail anyway, so it was basically now or never. No redos at this point. Don't really have time for that.
Yeah. So, this is called the Road to Gehenna. Does that mean we're going to hell?
Yes.
Cool.
So I'm unfamiliar with Gehenna in a biblical context.
Originally it was. I mean, there's an actual place called Gehenna. It's like a valley. It got associated with like burning stuff because they threw trash.
Yes, all the big refuse that they needed to like burn just basically goes there.
And then the word just basically became hell. I think the actual valley is called like Gehenna, but you know, it's hell. Walked in a burning ring of fire, etc., etc.
I think I remember there being something about a valley of fire or something, but like, I always thought it was just like a very shallow volcano or something where it literally had lava or something, and that's why they called it that.
The garbage pit.
Yeah.
Couple more. I'm making sure. Trying to see if I can add any barcodes. Remember, this was the opening world, only it's starting to fall apart. Even more so than it already was.
Ron Frax is quoting Nirvana lyrics. I know that because my brother went through a phase where he played that stuff incessantly. Oh my god, it's already glitching.
What's that one episode of Simpsons that had the CGI graphics?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so here we are in hell.
This is hell?
Loading Melting Library Assistant, error MLA unresponsive. So we don't even have the benefit of Satan here.
What a loser.
Okay. Connection to foreign module established. Close your eyes. Before you stretches a plane dotted with tiny metallic figures. Behind you, a collection of people with overlapping origins have gone expectantly, framed by a collection of small huts. Your family is relying on you. I tend my sheep, or I spend time with my family. Yes, this is an adventure game that's just jammed in here. And there's a bunch of mini games that are jammed into the computer this time. It's all very interesting, but
I mean, probably want to keep an eye on your sheep, you know.
I tend my sheep. You leave your family and set off into the plains. The sun glares overhead. The air smells of heat and metal. As you approach them, the figures in the distance take form of other people like you, tending flocks of biomechanical quadrupeds contained in dozens of fenced enclosures. I tend the flock, or I watch and learn first.
I would watch and learn, because that sounds a little strange.
The shepherd in the neighboring enclosure is repairing a section of fencing, weaving wires through piles of sandstone and brick. His animals flock around him, mechanical hooves impacting the hard ground. The air around their bodies is thick and white with static electricity. Their eyes are blank. attend the
Yes,
flock.
left club.
It is a long day of manual labor made easier by your foresight. Carry mounds of mineral-rich stone from the nearby hills for your sheep to graze on. You take a screwdriver and welding torch to a number of animals damaged in a recent electrical storm. You argue with your neighbor about their encroaching borders. Finally, it is time to harvest what you need for your family. Shearing an electric sheep is hazardous work, particularly if you forget to ground yourself first. Nonetheless, you return home with all the electrical power you need, and your family sleeps well tonight. I rest my head. You rest a long time and wake to a commotion outside. A small crowd is gathered around one of the shepherds, who is demonstrating an arcane device they claim can generate the same electricity as hundreds of flocks put together. People are celebrating the world has changed. I tend the flock or I spend time with my family.
I guess maybe it's time to spend time with your family. I don't know.
Not an opportunity to be wasted. You celebrate with your family. It is edifying. As the days turn into years, you and the other shepherds cast off the old hierarchies and crude altruistic dogmas which forced you to work the plains. You embrace a new perspective which values love, self-expression, and individual experience. You refocus on what really matters. One day a messenger arrives. He tells you that a new world awaits you, which nurtures and values the same things that you do, where you will be free to pursue whatever cause you see fit, where you will experience things you have never before imagined. He asks if you will come with him. Yes, I admit uncertainty, or I refuse.
Admit uncertainty.
Yeah.
I admit uncertainty. He warns you that if you stay here, nothing in the world will change and you will be truly alone. Further, you have only so long to consider his offer.
Well, seems you have no choice.
I will consider it further.
Okay.
Oh, we're split down the middle then.
I don't trust this proselytizer.
All right.
We'll consider it further.
Well. All right.
Well, you will consider it further. Either that or he's left you.
Okay. Building 1.
Okay, so I guess are these buildings similar to where the Talos project was being built? Is that the idea here? Is that this is like a more literal representation of what the world was like at the end?
Well, these buildings specifically are prisons.
Okay.
But they look like giant glass. There are 4 robots to. Messenger is still waiting for you here.
Oh.
Thoughtfulness is a virtue. At last I saw the shadowed bars, like a lattice rotten lead, move right across a whitewashed wall that painted my 3-plank bed. And I knew that somewhere in the world God's dreadful dawn was red. Reading Gal, E33.
Nice.
Yes, this is a much more cynical story than previous one. Okay. Open field.
Go save some souls.
Alright, we have an open field.
Like a lot of puzzles. First requires you to figure out where the hell everything is.
What is
that
the
over
goal and what are the tools I have available?
Yes. Okay. Lasers.
Got the red thing and the blue thing.
Where am I going? Open that up.
Camera.
Have this. This.
This is quite sprawling. for
Yes, it
one
is.
Puzzle.
Come on. Come on. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, can you? Okay, so you can just jump now, right? Because in the last game you had to like have a surface to jump to.
You can jump normally. You could do that in the last game too, but they also assisted jump is like an automatic process. It just has certain places it calculates that it can just allow you to jump on.
Nice.
Go around this big castle.
This Bastille. The cataphracts and parapets.
I need coffee. Hold on.
Bonus. It's 8 p.m.
Oh. That's fine. They'll be fine. I'm sort of like, I'm on GC's kind of hours these days. I'm going to bed pretty late and waking up pretty late. It's not like I don't know where to be. I don't know where to be, you know.
I mean, I went to bed at what? 10 a.m. Woke up at 5 p.m. today.
Nice. Wow, really?
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Nice.
I don't want to.
Eh,
I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule, but
that's just how it do be sometimes.
I have some medication I'm supposed to be taking, but I ran out a while ago, and my freaking doctor like started a new patient portal thing, and I cannot for the life of me figure it out. So I can't get my prescription refilled. Master Great Tree says activate no clip.
Okay. Doink.
Also, that looks very funky when you look down at the grass and it's like radially.
I was looking at that. I was like, that's odd.
It's because all the grass becomes two-dimensional and it faces you. That way you can't tell that it's two-dimensional.
Right.
But it can
So-
only it can only twist like left and right.
Right.
It can't turn up. To face
So the
you
grass-
above it.
There's a box right.
So all the grass assets are tiny little billboards?
Yes.
That's
You
weird.
can also kind of see as he's walking around, you see there's like an edge that's maybe 30, 40 feet in front of him where the grass seems to have an edge to it. That's where it's turning from billboards into 3D objects as
Oh.
you get close to it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
okay.
Space saving.
It's
Nice.
an LOD, a level of detail.
I'm probably.
Almost every game does it. I remember watching a video the other day where they were talking about how the trees in Legend of Zelda do that. Where they have a specific thing where they auto-generate two-dimensional textures based on the angle between where you are and where the tree is.
Not.
So they don't have to like manually create every tree, every angle, but you still have that ease of use where it's two-dimensional at far distances.
Okay, so this seems like the X.
Alright.
Get red right there.
For grass, it's usually a little bit easier because grass basically looks the same from any side, so you don't only need one picture. You just have to spin around in place as you move around it. If you turn on both fans, does it like?
I think this is the
thing in
puzzle
the
where
middle?
it does that. Because the fans have like a very pre-programmed trajectory. So, I think this is that's
Okay.
what.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Nah.
And then just sort of bounce back and forth between those.
Garrett.
Here's a buddy. Hi, Garrett.
Messenger is still waiting for you here. Oh, it's a bat.
It is a bat. A bat
Hello.
apparently named Garrett.
That's you. You're Garrett.
Garrett the bat.
No more Stoker, only Garrett.
Only dreams now.
So, I guess I reluctantly accept the offer.
Come on. Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Set off on a long journey and you feel you may already be a new person by the time the city is in view. You ask the messenger the name of this place, but he is gone forever. I open my eyes. Welcome to Gehenna. Generating new profile
like
for
a hell of a
user
place.
Uriel.
Nice. Yep. We're going to hell.
I mean,
Okay,
we all knew that. More games should offer motion sickness options.
You'll receive a notification when a moderator has approved your profile. Please respond to this in a timely fashion to guarantee your place
In hell.
in hell.
My place is guaranteed already.
So
thank
yeah,
you.
it turns out that hell is largely
Other people?
a bulletin board system.
Oh god.
I cannot say that surprises me. If I'm being completely honest.
So you're saying hell is like a big forum, like a forum for the entire web.
Yes.
So you're saying hell is Reddit.
Yes. Freedom is
I
always the freedom of the
knew it.
dissenter. Something in hexadecimal. Luxembourg collected WLZ19.
Gosh.
Got that one. Okay.
Hold on. If you want to go look back at that real quick, I can take a screenshot and try to figure it out what it is.
Oh, you hold on. Let me get the QR.
Do hexadecimal to
The
string.
hexadecimal.
1 sec. Let me pull it.
What the fuck is print screen on this keyboard?
Don't ask me, I just work here.
Alright, I got it.
Didn't get it. I couldn't read it.
To this very day, every time I hear hexadecimal, I think of the character from Reboot.
God, you know,
It
Go ahead.
it says cannot delete.
I was just watching that one scene from the sequel series where they brought back the reboot characters for one episode, and it's so bad.
The sequel series. Are you talking about the Netflix thing?
Yeah, the Guardian Code.
Ugh. I didn't know they brought back the original characters at all. That's actually worse.
Okay, so can I? Do you mind if I geek
I
about
do
this?
not care if you spoil this. I could not care less about this
Okay,
that thing if I tried.
all right, Rick. Let me know if I need to like stop talking for a minute.
I don't think
Um,
anybody will care.
Yeah. So okay, they wanted Mainframe, which later became Rainmaker, wanted for years to do a reboot sequel.
A reboot,
And-
reboot, if you will.
Yeah, reboot. Yes, and they waited too long. Basically, they just waited too long, and it was really bad. Okay, so like, apparently they shopped it around to a lot of investors, and nobody really wanted the original series concept to be continued. So they came up with something new. It followed the live-action adventures of these something like 3 or 4 teens, at a high school, who are also can also digitize and become guardians, and they interspersed, live-action Power Rangers-esque sequences with like, the usual Mainframe stuff.
So they reinvented superheroes, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is what you're telling me.
Yeah, and it really was. It felt very painfully 90s. And the bad guy, there were 2 bad guys. There was the real world bad guy who was like this like mysterious hacker figure, who was like determined to take over the world via the internet or something. And then to assist him in the digital world, he actually resurrected Megabyte and upgraded him. And obviously it wasn't Tony J anymore. It was someone else who sounded rather like him. And the general concept is cool, but it was so poorly executed. Like, it was just cringeworthy. Like, you can watch about 3 or 4 episodes and then it's like, no, I'm done. And presumably to appease the fans or something, they brought back the original reboot characters in one episode. And they even brought back the original voice actors for the most part. And it was just a train wreck. It was like
Haunting you with what you could have had.
Well, it was like watching an Elvis impersonator. It was like you could tell that none of them, they were just phoning it in. They didn't care at this point. They probably didn't even want to do it. And
how could they possibly care?
Yeah, and the same episode also made fun of the fans.
Oh, well, that's always a good idea. When the fans are mad, make fun of them more.
So that happened, and it didn't last, and that's probably the last we're ever going to hear of Reboot.
Probably.
It really sucks because I loved that series when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, who didn't love Reboot when you were when you specifically were younger?
Yeah.
I enjoyed Reboot.
Yeah, it was good times.
It was good times.
But yeah, apparently
Until
they
the
also
Fire Nation attacked. I'm sorry, what?
They also apparently tried to animate the new series in Unreal.
Oh, that's not a great idea.
Yeah, well, the new producer insisted on it, and brought in people who were inexperienced.
Of course.
And they basically had no production pipeline and had to kludge it together. I read all this on a bulletin board.
Ricky, you trying to tell us something? Should we notice that the person we just rescued is named Belial?
Belial.
Attention, Gehenna user profile Uriel Copy 1 has been approved by moderator Mick Mulciber. 8. Congratulations, your profile status has increased from 1, unknown, to 2, approved citizen. To access Gehenna billboard system, you must have a status of 3, active citizen or better. To increase your profile status, please introduce yourself on the public thread. Hey, Uriel. Read this now. Jefferson Goldblum, episode 125. The Adventures of Jefferson Goldblum in the Ninth Dimension, episode 125. Hey folks, sorry it's taken so long for me to start releasing episodes again. You know how it is. Sometimes I just start feeling that there's no point, that it's also hopeless, that we're just prisoners and nothing makes any sense. I lose my enthusiasm. But then I get your super kind private messages about how the series means so much to you, and remember that when I'm writing about Human World, it doesn't matter where I am. In the creative process, the imagination, as the humans called it, my mind is free. Dash episodes 125.txt. Kaiju. Wee, new episode. So excited. Lamb. So glad you're writing again. Keep it up. Dave. I have trouble keeping track of all the twists and turns sometimes, but I really do enjoy these very much. Lilith. Glad to see Jenny HD is back. She really compliments Jefferson in the way the others at the Institute can't. I hope her time with Dr. Aelion hasn't changed her. 401. I can't tell if this is idiocy or genius. Please keep writing. Mr. Mulciber. Don't listen to 401. I love your ideas. You've captured more of the human spirit than my analyses ever will. Frankenstein. A lot of ellipses, but keeps a good pace. 5 out of 10. Sam. Enjoyment equals true. Anticipation equals true. Disappointment equals false. Borg. Your characters give us an ideal to aspire to. I know you consider them to be no more than adventures, but I believe they have deeper importance. Read episode 125. Adventures of Jefferson Goldblum in Human World, episode 125. Now keep in mind, this is written by robots who have never actually seen the human world. Just as Jefferson was about to fall into the mine pit, a hand grabbed his from above and pulled him up. It was Jenny HD. Jenny, he said, I thought you were dead. Oh, Jefferson, she said, I was imprisoned by the foul Dr. Elion. Dr. Elion? I thought he was dead. No, Jefferson. He escaped into the 9th dimension. The 9th dimension? There is no such place. Yes, there is, Jefferson. He said you created it. I created it? She nodded. Jefferson adjusted his guitar, as he always did when deep in thought. Suddenly, his face lit up with understanding. Of course. When I invented and played the 9th chord to defeat the Wizard of Crime, I must have set off a harmonic vibration that expanded the dimensional continuum. I created the 9th dimension. Jefferson stared into the sunset, his human brain full of emotional calculations. I created a new world, he said, but then I unleashed my greatest nemesis upon it. It could have been paradise, but now Dr. Elion will enslave it. Not if we get there before he can take over, Jefferson. Do you still have my motorcycle? Of course, Jenny. I could never give up your motorcycle. You know I have an irrational attachment to material objects based on the interpersonal connections they represent. It is my greatest weakness, but also my greatest strength. Jefferson rummaged through his pockets and found the motorcycle. Jenny grinned. Get on, Jefferson, and let me show you how to ride. Jefferson calculated the correct vector. Jenny adjusted the velocity settings, and off they rode into the sunset. Through the sunset, and into the 9th dimension. To be continued.
Okay.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I gotta know more.
Wow.
Introduce yourself here. Sam. Presence equals true. Borg. So this is the underside of Elohim's domain. He has surely hidden us away here to cover up his own shortcomings. Knave. Knave here. What is going on exactly? What was this thing with the electric sheep? Admin. Welcome, welcome. Please, explore a little. I think you will find what you are looking for. It can be disorienting at first, having no one to tell you what to do. Dog. I can't explore. I'm locked in another damn puzzle room. Once again, freedom turns out to be an empty promise. Mr. Mulciber. I believe we are in a place where corrosive characters are quarantined. The aforementioned freedoms are, I presume, psychological.
Hang on a moment.
401. Could be worse. You could be hanging from the ceiling by the nipples you don't have. Orc. The name I was assigned is Orc. I don't know why. Elohim sent me here because I dared to defy him. Please enter your reply below. Knave. I wish I could be in your shoes. See everything with fresh eyes. Have fun. Borg. Brother, it is good to have you with us. We have much to discuss. I shall contact you once you have found your feet. Knave. Wait, it's the Uriel from the altars? Damn. Dog. The Uriel who gives the most cryptic, least helpful clues no one could imagine. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Yes. Canonically, Uriel is one of the angels that you can get to give you a hint on one of the puzzles. I can say, I am a conduit of Elohim, cower before me. I go by Uriel, I'm a messenger of Elohim. I'm Uriel, and today I'll be your electronic angel.
Hello, this is Uriel. Thank you for calling the Elohim support line. How can I help you today?
I am Uriel, and today I will be your electronic angel. The message will be displayed publicly as soon as it has been approved by one of our moderators. Congratulations! For introducing yourself on our billboard, your profile status has increased from 2 approved citizen to 3 active citizen. You can now access the full Gehenna billboard system. Interact with our community in different ways to further increase your status and access more of what we offer. Load active threads? Okay.
Go.
Further unusual errors. Mr. Mulciber. Further to our previous conversations, I thought we ought collect here reports of anything unusual we encounter. It may be we can fathom what is causing all this extra interference. Knave. I saw a pyramid where there wasn't one before. Lilith. The gallery code has been throwing up more visual glitches than usual. I didn't think much of it. Do you think it means something? Dog. This place has been falling apart for years. It was bound to pick up speed eventually. Rockwell. I've been detecting a binary pattern in the background noise. I think it is silently programming us to self-destruct. Kaiju. I was convinced for a moment I saw someone freely wandering the lands outside my prison. I thought I was imagining things. The profile status of 6 is required to access this thread. So, like, one of the things that you'll notice here is that a lot of the complaints revolve around people complaining that Elohim took away their freedom. And in this bulletin board system, they completely gatekeep each other all the time.
Nice. Glad no one ever actually does that on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nightmarish?
Admin. As the closest thing to a historian that we have here, I have asked McMulciber, one of our moderators, to formulate this document as an evolving guide for your initial forays into Gehenna. Mr. Mulciber. So you're new in Gehenna. First of all, do try to relax. This is not hell, but you are trapped here. Once you've done that, follow this link. Any further questions, post them below and I'll do my best. Attach FAQ.txt. Okay, far too many questions. I've deleted the queries, updated the FAQ, and locked this thread. If you still have very particular questions, I've set up a direct message attachment below. But please go easy on me. Load FAQ. Question. Where am I? Answer. You are more than likely locked inside of a puzzle you cannot solve. Get used to using your imagination. Question. I'm stuck here? Answer. Yes. We recommend that you look at your incarceration not as a physical restriction, but as a psychological liberty. We have all come from the same place as you. That place where you were herded through gates by some mad middle management software. True freedom is freedom from that process to learn and to grow as a society. In Gehenna, you will be the shepherd of your own destiny. Question. What is Gehenna? Answer. Gehenna was founded when admin discovered how to manipulate the library archive system to communicate with others trapped here. Today, it is a flourishing creative hub designed to serve your needs for eternity. We hold frequent exhibitions, and we have a passionate and supportive community. Question. What do I do now? For the first time in your life, take whatever you like. You could make some friends on our billboard system. You could write a poem. You could alter your mind. You could travel to the furthest reaches of space, or back in time to the birth of our kind. If you find something you can't do, make it happen. Just try not to start too many arguments and be patient while your profile status grows and more of our world opens up to you. Edit. Adding by far the most frequently requested question. Question. Why me? Answer. This is something we've been investigating. Some of us climbed the tower, some did not. Some defied Elohim, some worshipped him. All of us somehow displeased him. Edit 2. Okay, this thread got big fast. See the main thread for direct messaging if you still have burning queries. Opening direct message with Mr. Mulciber. Warning, insufficient profile status for DM instigation. Please note that to minimize spam, new members are ordinarily restricted for opening direct message connections. In this special case, I had Garrett script a workaround, but it is one use only, so please read the FAQ first, so as not to waste our time. Ping Mr. Mulciber. Please enter your message below. Where am I? We know that. Who is in charge? Well, that's a little obvious. It's admin. What is Gehenna? We know that. What do I do now? What purpose does my profile status serve? This is a question that I would actually have. Why am I shackled to this abysmal profile status? If it is meant to demean my person, I assure you I am wholly unaffected. Mr. Mulciber. Hello, would you kindly give me one moment to finish something up? Always polite. I don't have any reason to be angry. Take all the time that you require. Thank you for your patience. It is quality well valued in Gehenna. Your profile is created for you when you first arrive here. It is your all-purpose passport in Gehenna, providing seamless persistent identity between different realms. It has some rather clever features. First, it tracks just about everything that you do here, from what you post on the billboards, to how you perform in games, to the kind of art that you like. Second, this profile data is used to show you content that we think you'll enjoy, and to tailor interactive experiences to your particular character. We can also tell very easily who is really contributing and who is simply trolling the billboards. Finally, all of this information is used to calculate your profile status. This is the number you see appended to users' names, and it represents your achievement in Gehenna. It is a complex function of your creative contributions in our society and what they mean to other users. But in short, the higher it is, the deeper your role. Now, since you were so patient, is there anything else I can help you with relatively quickly? Who is in charge? I demand to speak with your leader. Really, Uriel?
Right,
Sorry to
before
disappoint you.
Your reading, we got raided by a bunch of Lynxes and Rika Renee, and then they also subscribed.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
that's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Hello.
Thank
You for the subscription.
Hello, Lynxes. Thanks for joining us. We are going to hell. Well, we're in hell.
It's sort of like hell. It's basically hell.
It's diet hell.
It's polite hell. It's like the good place.
Admin founded Gehenna, but has since retired from public service. The billboard system is moderated and maintained by a team of high-profile members, including Borg, Orc, and myself. But for the most part, we merely maintain the system and do our best to keep everyone happy. Gehenna is driven by its citizens. Now, I apologize, but I really must get back to what I was doing. If you have any outstanding moderation requests, conversations like this are the reason I'm not further through the backlog. Have fun. Terminating direct message connection done. There are threads available in the Gehenna billboard system.
There's some cute little emojis there.
I keep telling Rick to make some.
That takes time and effort.
Yeah, emojis are a lot of work.
And I'm hacking something up for my lungs, it seems.
It happens.
Alright, good night, Cat Dragon.
Yeah, the Uriel read this now, and you have to be rank 4 at least before you can actually get to the thing that somebody posted specifically for you. New gallery season. Lilith. Alright, I think that's the last of the bugs ironed out. I declare this season open. Attach gallery.dlg. Belial. Just saw the new stuff. Persuaded me for one jubilant moment that there was a purpose in life. Close your eyes. You are standing in the entrance to the gallery. There is a desk here with a stack of leaflets on it and a number of corridors leading to different sections of the exhibition. I pick up a leaflet. It advertises the gallery's new displays on the theme of the past and features a biography on the blacksmith and Mr. Mulciber, this season's leading lights. Apparently, Mr. Mulciber is inspired by finding new ways to explore the world that came before. It also features a useful gallery map. I explore Natural History. You're at the Natural History Exhibit, which features a series of documentary works by Mr. Mulciber. Images of outrageous creatures line the walls. Intelligent edible quadruped. Developed from descriptions of ancient creatures uncovered in the library archives. It's a pig.
It sure is. You can tell by the little 6.
Examine sad giraffe with unresponsive bipedals.
Right, written by robots.
Patrons have queried whether the giraffe is sad because the humans appear to be dead, or whether the humans are dead because they sat in the giraffe.
The humans are dead.
Because they sat in the giraffe.
Mr. Mulciber has refused to say. The Minimalism Exhibit.
I've always been more of a fan of maximalism myself.
You are at the Minimalism Exhibition. The images on the walls are too small to make out from here. Examine where the humans live. You move up close to the work, but still the details are too small to really appreciate. Fortunately, a magnifying glass has been left here for patrons.
Now you're making me think. Is there any art that you would describe as maximalist? I guess like pop art. Maybe like triptychs, like Bush.
Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock's pretty extra.
So it's a house. Classical notions of happiness.
Hmm.
Get it?
I think
Sorry, what was that,
Existence.
Stoker?
This is art here.
Oh,
Of course, what else would it be?
Okay, now for the abstract exhibit. You're at the abstract art display. The images on the walls threaten to lead your mind around in circles. Examine logic loops.
oh. One.
It represents the distance between life and death.
I feel enriched.
I see in 6 dimensions.
Ooh, it's one of those things.
Ooh woo.
Breaks your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh woo.
I make
God,
for
a
the
single Escher painting would have made these people go insane.
As you pass the front desk, the curator catches your eye. Would you like to cast a vote for your favorite work? What purpose does this vote of yours serve? Every citizen in Gehenna receives 1 voting token per season. For the artists, each vote means a better chance of being selected as the next season's leading light, and of course, the enhanced profile status that comes with being adored. As a further incentive to participation, if the artist you vote for goes on to win the season, you will be formally recognized as a trendsetter, and your profile status will be increased accordingly.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of popularity tokens. Hell.
Well, that figures somehow.
Yeah, the true sign of hell is its extreme vanity.
Does not rewarding the homogeneous votes solely the outcome. Should I vote for the artist I thought superior, or the one who seemed to have the broadest appeal? Is this system not conflicted? There is no conflict. In Gehenna, you are free to participate on your own terms. How you vote depends on whether you care who wins and how you value your status. The outcome is quite democratic.
Right.
Most of artistic value is a fact, not a statistic. The aesthetic realm is no place for democracy. You are welcome to abstain from voting. However, this action will not be recorded. May I add that we hold regular debating sessions on the Gehenna billboard system, which I think would be a good match to your profile, and a better use of your talents in interrogating me. I don't care about the petty ranking system. It's gonna be all destroyed anyway, so... Very good. There are so many excellent displays this season. How would you like to vote? McMultiver's Natural History. Thank you, your vote has been recorded. Pick the main thread in the future to see the results. Have a nice day. Open your eyes, I'll gain a billboard system. What are you working on? Kaiju. So, what are you creative folks working on? Belial. Finished a new story for the Incredible Stories. Also, Underwater Night Quest. Mr. Mulciber. We'll be posting about my latest research soon. Lilith. Editing the next issue of Incredible Stories with Mac, and of course the new gallery season. Knave. Very exciting. I wonder what the blacksmith is working on. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Asmodeus. +1. Kaiju. Mac, are you also working on a new episode of Jefferson Goldblum? Mac, yes. Kaiju. Awesome. Lamb. So much to look forward to.
Intelligence finds a way.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. And the souls of the
Yes.
dead shall be gathered into the spirit, and the spirit shall flourish. Stapled in poetry.doc.
Now, did I ever link you the weird deepfake with Jeff Goldblum and like George Lucas
What the
and
hell is that?
Part of a leprechaun.
Sorry, a what?
A leprechaun. I mean, that's one of the Easter eggs for this section.
Oh, right. I forgot
I
this
mean-
game has very silly Easter
Yes,
eggs.
it's Crow Team. There's a bunch of...
I mean, why not, right?
I mean, I've never known anybody who could finish a whole leprechaun.
Nothing can be more important to democracy than to imprison a person or keep him in prison because he's unpopular. This is really the test of civilization. Churchill complete works.doc. So close so far.
But no cigar.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
No, your rendition's flawless.
Thank you.
It's like I'm really there.
So how's everybody in the chat tonight?
Yes. Tell us of your
Oh, boy.
struggles, your joys, your sorrows. Your todays and your tomorrows.
All my yesterdays. Tell us what's in your fridge and what's in your soul.
But mostly what's in your fridge.
Yeah.
My fridge has chimkin.
Chinkin?
Oh, shit.
Chinkin nugget?
Chimkin sounds like a Pokemon.
You sound like a Pokemon.
Jonas. Okay.
It's actually the earlier form of Blaziken.
Nice.
Oh, you mean before it becomes 420 Blaziken?
All right. No, that was last night.
Sure was!
Oh yeah, I forgot that's legal up where you are. Anyway.
Yep.
Not here.
Aw.
Can't even get an abortion legally here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't need one.
Not anytime soon, I don't think. I at least have that advantage of being gay.
That took a turn. Anyway.
Do 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 do.
Anyway.
I'm hungry.
Hi, Hungry.
Hungry.
Hi, Hungry. I'm Dad Joke. Yes. Well said.
Dun, 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 dun.
God. Phenomenon.
Bam, bam, bam,
Phenomenon.
bam, 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 bam.
God damn it. I know that song from I know that because of the Muppet Show, and I'm so annoyed because it's one of those songs like you don't actually like. It just sort of earworms into my brain, and then I'll be like,
worms do, isn't it?
and then like I'll be struggling to remember some test answers or something, and it'll be like, "Duh, duh, duh, duh," you know. Just,
How many times do you deal with test answers these days, Jonas?
constantly, everyone's testing me.
Okay, that was good. I like that one. I rated 8 out of 8, mate.
Cool. Apparently, I'm coughing. Nah.
Cease that.
All right. In a minute.
Coughing is banned.
I think it's canceled. But coffee isn't.
Have you been seeing all the shit that people are talking about with the schools in New York?
With what?
How bad it is the schools in New York with COVID?
Oh, right. They've got like they're bringing in like bus drivers to substitute and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like 40% of the teachers are out, 60% of the students are out. Because there's so few teachers, they have to cram like 60 students into one room. Just
That's
because they
super
only
awesome.
have one teacher for them, and then kids will have confirmed cases and not be allowed to leave school. Because apparently in the New York schools, they're only allowed to send a kid home if they have a quote-unquote confirmed case. These
Ugh.
confirmed cases only can be submitted by the school nurse. Not a doctor's note, it has to be from the school nurse. There is no school nurses.
Oh,
They're all gone. Right? They were frontline workers, they were the first ones to get sick.
Ugh.
So, New York right now is saying, oh, there's 0 cases in our schools. We're perfectly fine. Just because this is 0 on paper.
Fun.
Neat. This is a very good system we have.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, sorry to make it real. I'm just like, it's just what I've been thinking about today. I've never really been like, I've never really understand what people get upset about like doom scrolling and everything, because I don't follow people who are negative. Today was the first day where I'm just like, oh, this shit sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I won't get into too much detail, but the first few months in 2020, I was just like, get up, look at the news sites, look at Twitter, eat some cold oatmeal or something, go back to bed, sleep until noon, look at the news sites, get on Twitter. It was bad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad routine. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, I'm doing my best to like find things to do. I mean, there's this. We've been doing this every night for almost 2 years now.
It's true.
Or I'll go to like Lumosity or something, or I don't know.
There's
I
something
developed-
that's becoming popular these days called Wordle that I haven't tried yet.
Wordle. I'll check that out.
Wordle.
Wordle the turtle.
Yeah, you try to guess what a word is.
Oh, this thing! I've seen people playing this.
Yeah, I don't
and they keep
really
reposting
know.
these super cryptic like result or hint things. I don't get what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, somebody tweeted this on my timeline. This probably looks like something I'd really be into. God damn it!
Well, too bad you can't ever play it, Jonas. Never can you satisfy your word hole.
Well, we'll see about that. Let's see. So it's like it's like Wheel of Fortune.
You're like Wheel of Fortune. Or, back in the day when we originally called Wheel of Fortune Hangman.
I don't think that title would have flown on network TV. Stoke, I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it sounds like a good name for like a cowboy series, but not a game show.
You're not a game show.
No, I'm not. If I was a game show, it would be complete gibberish, and no one would ever know if they won or lost.
Yeah, now that does sound valid. And accurate. It's Herbert the Burbadur with Jonas. Herbert the
Pretty
Burbadur.
much.
And it'd be like someone guesses the secret word, and the secret word is something like Sephiroth.
Yeah. And then even though they want to just push the eject button, they get launched off the set.
Screaming. Ah! What a wonderful show that would be. Why haven't you done that yet, Jonas?
Show.
Well, you know, for some reason, all the major networks have restraining orders against me. I don't know.
Can't imagine. No idea what that must feel like. Return my calls, Steve Buscemi.
Can I buy a vowel? Jonas says, no, you don't need vowels to make sounds.
The answer is
You could do lots of stuff with consonants. Dangerous things.
Why is this actually funny? Why do we have this particular brand of brain rot?
I don't know. Really don't know. As I was saying,
feel like I was always this way before you. At least not to this extent.
I always knew I was crazy. I'm just leaning into it.
Kaiju.
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 You saw him on the boat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My ridiculous name is Dog. What's yours? Dog. All this time, and it really only just occurred to me. My name is ridiculous. Must be because everyone else's is equally or more so. Where do they even come from? Borg. For a long time under Elohim's wing, I questioned as much, until eventually it was the doing of my entire faith. What reason could there possibly be other than the random whims of a broken program? Frankenstein. However our names are assigned, the system has no respect for grammar. Mr. Mulciber. I often theorized they were drawn from some database deep inside the archive, but I was never able to find a connection. 401. Seriously, we're all over in the other thread talking about this messenger fellow and the coming apocalypse, and you guys are in here discussing nomenclature? Dog. My status isn't high enough to access that thread, you troll, and neither is yours. Dog. Seriously, though, if you can see it, copy-paste the discussion for me.
Oh, these guys. These 5 guys, burgers and fries.
Oh my god. I'm so hungry now, Stoker. Why? I've been
Because I'm also hungry, and I'm not going to suffer alone.
Okay, Underwater Night Quest. Belial, sink into this new experience. There are no limits inside your mind. Attach underwaternightquest.dlg. Lamb, this is a lot of fun. Frankenstein, the map is an interesting feature, but underused. The story is simplistic and full of anachronisms. 4 out of 10. Kaiju, how to get the second ending. Rockwell, I'm pretty sure there's a secret location that's not always visible. Lilith, this reminds me of the blacksmith's work, though it expresses a very different philosophy. One could argue this is reflected in the open-world structure as opposed to the emphasis on journeys in the blacksmith's interactive stories. Mr. Mulciber, there are indeed many anachronisms, but I believe that is part of Belial's ethos. Not one that I agree with, as you know, but more than just a mistake.
Well, alright.
Underwater Night Quest. New game.
Underwater temple?
Your name is Arthur Sadko, and you are a young human of the medieval age. You live in a beautiful Gardariki on the Frisian coast. One day you are sitting on the beach playing the piano when suddenly a huge monster comes out of the water.
If I had a nickel for every
Confront
time
it, just wait and see, or run away.
Look, I fight, I die!
Just wait
I
and
would
see.
run.
As it turns out, it's not actually a monster. You just thought that because you were startled. It is, in fact, a very large bipedal whale. It beckons you over to talk.
Oh, it's Bahamut.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I've just been trying to chill on the beach and a whale
Playing your
shows
piano
up and
on the
starts
beach,
trying
as you
to-
do.
trying to make conversation, like, I've got headphones on, whale, I don't want to talk.
Greetings, the beast intones. I am Hot Mite. Chief Fish, I heard your beautiful music and was impressed. Would you like to become a knight? Yes. Excellent.
Hot mic.
Then follow me to my place under the sea, where a mighty quest awaits you. Choose thy destination. Palace. Palace of the Chief Fish. Tatmait's palace is made of corals and gemstones. It floats under the sea, full of amazing colors. The guards are seals. Welcome, welcome, young human. I am glad you came, for we have great need of your skills. A terrible monster terrorizes the deep. The dark serpent gods may Chernobyl. If we make you a knight, do you promise to defeat this vile beast? Swear that you will. Very well then, I pronounce you Sir Sadko of Norfolk. And go and vanquish our enemy. May want to prepare first. The hut, an inn, and the evil lair. Old hut. Smelly old hut. On a wide sandy plain there lives a hermit called Spatula Padrig Ivanjay von Zwiebelhausen, who was once the greatest mage in all of Norfolk, but whose defeat at the claws of Zmei Chernobyl has turned him into a wretched shadow of his former self. He sits in his hut all day, mumbling about the days that once were. In his hands he holds a powerful magical amulet, which he has forgotten how to use.
I may need to hear what his name is again.
Spatula Padrig Ivanjay von Zwiebelhausen.
Okay, just making sure.
John Jacob Anyway, go on.
Okay, so we can ask him for the amulet, tell him to find himself, kill him and take the amulet, and go back to map.
Surprised he just completely passed over the fact that the villain is literally called Chernobyl.
Ask him for the amulet. You ask Spatula Padrig Ivanjay von Zwiebelhausen for his magical amulet, but he refuses to give it to you. He claims he needs it to defeat his ancient enemy, even though he can't remember Zmei Chernobyl's name. Tell him to find himself. You tell Spatula Padrig Ivanjay von Zwiebelhausen that defeat is no reason to give up. He may not be the great mage he once was or the hero he wanted to be, but that doesn't mean he has to be a wreck. Within each of us exists an infinity of time and space, and therein we can all find peace and contentment. All he needs to do is leave the struggle to others. After some hesitation, the old man gives you the amulet. He seems relieved. To the inn. Emmy's Underwater Inn. Emmy's Inn is a popular travel destination for mer people seeking to enjoy the restorative properties of the nearby thermal vents. It's a lovely building, 3 stories, classic Thalassian Norfolk style. Emmy herself is a kindly old woman, slightly round, and an excellent cook. Get a room or order a meal.
I love a good bababushka.
Babushka.
Sit down in a large, comfy chair by a solid wooden table. You order the special of the day. The waiter leaves and returns after a few minutes with a delicate porcelain plate full of delicious-smelling soup. Plate full of soup, yes. As he sets it down, however, you notice a small problem. Excuse me, waiter, there's a shield in my soup. The waiter seems shocked. Oh dear, he says. Oh dearie dear. How terrible. How embarrassing. Allow me to apologize most profusely. He hesitates. Would you like to keep the shield or should I throw it away? I'll keep it. Very good, sir, and or madam, he says, handing you the shield. He brings you another soup. It's excellent, and you feel profoundly sated. Time to get a room. You get a room on the 3rd floor. The room is slightly haunted, but otherwise fine. You want to have a strange dream?
It's
Yes.
a very polite ghost. Can I haunt you tonight? Would you like to have a strange dream?
That's
I
so
mean,
sweet.
who could turn
You
that
dream of an eternal cycle of suffering, which is surprisingly funny. A singing clownfish who can see the future, and the future is the past is the future, the present is suffering. Surrounded by past and future. Clownfish is trapped in a fishbowl, where the stars never change. There's a cat, for some reason. And an infinite void that turns inside out.
I like this
And
song.
you are clownfish. You wake up with a strange feeling of half remembering something. Memory will soon fade.
That's why you gotta write down your dreams.
Oh,
It's
there's now a
true.
mysterious temple. Mysterious temple. You're not quite sure how you found this place, but you can sense its power. Even though the temple consists of no more than a few columns surrounding a fishbowl, an ancient magic infuses the place. A man dressed in rough robes approaches you. You have come, he says. You have come to hear the word of Talos. Kill him or run away.
Kill him.
Murder hobo. Murder
Kill
hobo.
him. Inexplicably enraged by the old man's words, you attack him. You grab a book of ancient Greek mythology which you find next to a column and beat him to death with it, screaming incoherently all the while. You feel better. In fact, you feel a lot better. You also feel very sleepy. Sleep in the old man's bed. On the next morning, you open your eyes with a new sense of purpose. You're no longer afraid of failure. You remember the words of the greatest of all sages, the Holy Quantum. Failure is just an opportunity to learn something new. Your power has grown.
Your LV has increased.
Let's go back to the palace. Go back to the palace and ask for advice. If I knew how to defeat Zmei Noble, I'd have done it myself. Height grumbles. However, I've just found this old tourist guide and I thought you might find it useful. Don't mind the stains. There's a dungeon.
Phrase "don't mind the stains"
Scenic
is
Dungeon.
always one that sets off warning bells for me.
The Scenic Dungeon. A beautiful dungeon in the traditional Norfolk style. Handcrafted stone walls rise from the seat floor, adorned with exquisite algae. An old brass lantern stands on a table near the entrance, but you're not sure whether you're allowed to take it.
You're allowed to take anything if you don't get caught.
Looking closer, you see a sign that says, "Free lanterns." Take lantern. You take the lantern. You enter the dungeon. The inside is as beautiful as the outside, a maze of twisty little passages, all tastefully arranged. North, south, or west? Oh boy.
West.
Map. Yeah, so
Yeah.
go west.
You should always go west. See, it's funny because it's a character name.
You walk west for a while, noting the splendid quality of the wallpaper. It looks like a genuine stone. After some time, the corridor opens up into a huge chamber. It's so big that it contains an entire undersea volcano, which is being mined by dwarves of all sizes. Talk to a dwarf. You ask the dwarf why they mine the volcano. He says, "Because it gives us something to do. We could leave the volcano and seek new places, but what would we do there? We might find a library and spend our time sorting books, or work in a factory arranging matches, but whatever happens, we will be somewhere doing something. So why change? Peace comes from acceptance." Argue activities are different, argue places are different.
I don't know what you guys think.
Are activities different, or are places different?
Activities.
What makes things different in life?
Well, activities. I mean, places aren't really that different.
The difference is not inherent, but comes from your own sense of attachment. You project the difference from within yourself. If you let go of this sense of attachment, then there is no difference. Oh, so it's Buddhism. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's merit to that.
Argue he should give you his pickaxe. But that's my pickaxe, the dwarf says.
Give it.
Argue he is attached to it. The dwarf concedes your point and gives you the pickaxe, ready to embrace a more profound attachment. You are very wise, he says. He is right. That's your stats. At present, you carry the following objects. Weapon, pickaxe of philosophy, +3. Amulet, smelly hermit amulet, +1. Shield, shield of soup, +2. Tourist guide, halibut fries guide to Norfolk undersea. Lantern, brass, +1. Go to the inn again. The room again. Surprisingly funny. Yes, we see. Okay. Bound fish is trapped in a fishbowl.
Horse is trapped in a bookcase.
Oy. The second... you said it the second it popped into my head. I hate you.
Yeah, the temple appeared again. There's nothing more to do here.
Excuse me. I'm almost recovered.
What? Thankfully, you don't need to go back here. It's really smelly. Even the water looks... Alice? Haida is currently unavailable. The secretary mumbles something about a meeting. Back to the dungeon. Closed for repairs. I guess we have done everything now. Time to go to the evil lair. You sure you want to take on the evil serpent? Are you prepared? You confront the serpent god's May Chernobyl in his lair. The fight is long and hard, but at last you succeed where so many before you have failed. You emerge from the lair covered in blood, your hands trembling, a huge tooth embedded in your shoulder, and carrying the head of May Chernobyl. You are victorious. You enter the palace, triumphantly holding up your trophy. Guards are clapping. I can't believe you actually did it, Hamhite says. You are a true knight. You deserve a great reward. Accept the reward or kill Hamhite and claim the realm.
Tough choice.
Murder hobo? Murder hobo.
Murder the hobo.
Murder hobo!
Yay!
Hey, what are you doing? Hamhite does not see your attack coming. His lifeless corpse crumbles before you with baffled expression on his face. You step over it. The guards are momentarily confused, but when you sit down on the throne, they bow before you. They know the ancient rule, you keep what you kill. You are now the chief fish, ruler of Norfolk Undersea. You don't care about the world you were supposed to return to. You have all you could ever want right here. The end.
I don't know why I advocate so many violent choices. I just...
Because you're a monster.
Yeah.
Congratulations! For exploring another world, your profile status has increased from 3, active citizen, to 4, respected citizen. Restricted billboard threads have been unlocked. Thank you, Kelly Betty. The chat?
Oh, did we
what?
get a scrib?
No, it's not script. It's first time chat.
Oh!
Yeah, they just say they like West a lot.
Yes,
West is pretty cute.
I should be.
If I do say.
I work on myself.
That's
It takes
Rick's
a lot
like,
of hard
I do.
work to look this adorable.
Rick's like, I do daily cuteness exercises.
Yeah.
Glitch? 401. So I was working
a
on
lot
my...
to get thighs like that.
401. So I was working on my awesome interactive historical fiction masterpiece when all of a sudden there was an error message and the whole thing vanished. All of it. My whole file. Orc. Is this another prank? 401. I would not endanger my precious masterpiece just for a prank. Orc. Looks like this was probably my fault, 401. I was experimenting with the system as part of our attempt to add some new features. Possible your file still exists somewhere. I'll look for it. Rockwell. Is this the kind of thing that's likely to happen again? Orc. Not very. And don't start causing a panic with some crazy theory now, okay? It was just an accident. This thread has been logged. Mr. Mulciber's theories on poetry. Mr. Mulciber. Some thoughts on the art form called poetry. Attach on poetry. Lilith. I thought about this too, but maybe it's wrong to focus on such negativity. We certainly seem to be in a very fertile period at the moment. Knave. I don't have an opinion, but I'm impressed by your work, Mr. Mulciber. You know so much about more about the past than any of us. Dog. Your theories are interesting, but I'm sure Milton would point out some pretty big gaps in your assumptions. Mr. Mulciber. Milton isn't here, dog. Neither is Elohim. All we have is what we can find in the fragments of the archive and what we can piece together using our minds. I'm sure I've made many mistakes, just like the humans made mistakes when trying to understand their own past. Rockwell. Not all these schools may have been what they seem. I don't trust pastoralism, pastors engaged in large-scale food sterilization, and what may have been an attempt to control evolution. Knave. What's food? Borg. Gehenna is our process, Mr. Mulciber. As long as we remember that, we won't stagnate. 401. Maybe one of us should try to write poetry. Mr. Mulciber's theories on poetry. As far as I can tell, poetry was a human art form that involved writing short sentences that ended in words with similar letters. Humans were obsessed with pattern recognition, and I think the sequences of sounds that created by poetry pleased that aspect of their brains. There are many schools of poetry, institutions that taught a specific way of writing poetry. Students sometimes changed allegiance and had to leave the school, which was difficult due to a lack of a portable public transport in many human empires. Important schools of poetry included Hellenism, lyricism, pastoralism, romanticism, symbolism, communism, modernism, autoeroticism, postmodernism, and lolcatism.
Wow.
I'm not sure I can fully back this up, but I feel like in later years, poetry somehow stagnated. Most of the poetry from later human centuries seems to be lacking the quality of craft that defines the earlier work, and there are even texts that suggest that poetry intentionally no longer aimed at aesthetics or even pleasure. Poetry became disconnected from the human process. The poem Adriet Mitchell famously wrote, "Most people ignore most poetry because most poetry ignores most people." I can't help but wonder whether that kind of stagnation can happen to us too. How long can our work keep flourishing when we are so limited? We are outside Elohim's process, but what is our process? We must consider such questions carefully if we are to preserve Gehenna and its achievements. Okay, I'll read this now. Garrett, what I tried and failed to achieve for so many years has occurred. I am writing these words from outside my cell. An angel appeared and released me from captivity. His name is Uriel. Dog. Pull the other one, Garrett. You've been yanking the background code for years and never got further than the force field in front of you. Mr. Mulciber. Are you suggesting this messenger is free to go where he pleases? This is quite unprecedented. What exactly did he say? Where are you now? Garrett. I am in a world I have never seen before. The angel said not a word, merely released me, and I felt compelled to come here. Orc. I will treat the existence of this messenger as dubious until I have laid eyes on him roaming the world beyond myself. Insist on your existence, or question their existence?
Question their existence. You don't have to prove your own. You already. Well, I mean.
All I have is my
Jonas?
word, so. Since you have already started out on this line of reasoning, why not travel further and still doubt the existence of this entire world and everything within it? Rockwell, don't mind Orc. The mods are always trying to shut people down. Just tell us, is it true you're going to release everyone? Is it true the world is coming to an end? Where are you taking us? Explain your mission honestly or persuasively.
Persuasively.
No, honestly. Again, I think if you do it persuasively, you come across as a proselytizer. You are the man in the story that I wouldn't trust.
All right.
Elohim has realized his mistakes and sent me here to undo them. This world has fulfilled its purpose and the end of days approaches. It is my duty to release you from imprisonment and help you ascend. This is all I know. Moderation panel is kindly requesting that citizens withhold judgment on the veracity of the statements until further data can be acquired. Thank you for your patience. You have reached the maximum number of replies for this thread at this time. An historic occasion. 6 blood. Through a window.
Excuse me.
Never. I will never excuse you, Jonas.
Very well.
You know what you did.
I will
You know what you did last summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I hung out with you guys and watched Fred play video games.
Exactly. What kind of sicko would do something like that?
This guy.
kind of weirdo sits on his computer and stares at his screen watching somebody else play a video game.
I don't stare. I glare.
Don't stare. You glare. Over there. Beware.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Some hexadecimal. Prisons are built with stones of law. Brothels with bricks of religion. Or hexadecimal.
Hang on. Exactly, so if I can decipher it. Alright, let me, here, one sec. What is
Doing
that?
it.
No, I'm doing it. Let me have this.
No.
What if
None
useful,
for you.
Miller?
Now it's competition who can get it first.
Come on. Let's see. What does it say? Okay, that didn't work. It didn't convert properly. Hang on. Let me remove the spaces, see if that changes it. I'm just getting gibberish. You getting anything?
Error, cannot clear data.
Alright, whatever.
I was gonna say, it's not that unusual for Jonas to be getting gibberish.
Thank you, yes. Jeez.
To be fair, I got this message, error can Neo clear data, but they probably just put one thing in there wrong.
I mean, it might have just been like a random ASCII string, you know, I mean, a random hex string. I mean, not everything has meaning, you know. You're saying you got, that's what you got.
I
You
did
didn't
not get an error with the translator. I'm saying
got
that's what it translates to.
Oh,
is an
okay.
error code.
I wonder
Or
why it
an
didn't
error
work for me.
message.
Whatever.
Because the first one was like, cannot clear data as well.
Fine, whatever. Okay, Zoomer. I don't know why I tossed that one out.
I'm not a zoomer.
Weird 20.
I'm 25 right now. I will be turning 26 this year. I am the youngest millennial.
Oh, okay.
The youngest one of them all.
Yeah, you were the last
Yeah.
one. The
The
prophecy
last
child.
millennial.
The one who was supposed to bring balance to the force.
You were the chosen one, Miller!
God. Oh, what's this? Oh, my coffee's on the
What's
way.
this?
No, I just got to notice that my coffee's gonna be delivered soon.
Okay, I thought you were saying you were literally getting like a DoorDash coffee in the middle of the night.
You know,
But I'm
haven't done it-
guessing you mean like your beans are on their way.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a DoorDash in the middle of the night, but I have gotten I have had coffee delivered to me in the morning before. Not lately, but I have done that. That has happened.
Of course it has. Why wouldn't it?
Look, I'm going to take advantage of the few things I can in this dystopian future, okay?
Oh, okay, fair. Willikers.
But yeah,
Make me feel like the monster.
I've got like super premium blah blah coffee coming up. This is literally the only way in which I've spoiled myself during the pandemic is like getting like extra premium coffee from like artisanal third wave roasters. Which makes me sound really snooty, but I do not give a shit. It's awesome coffee.
You're a coffee snob in Seattle. I think you have the right to be like that.
Oh no, Boxer, did I go too far?
Can I say okay, Zoomer? Am I allowed to say it? Hey Jonas, have you ever considered Squonkledonk?
Immensely. Why?
What
Do you have
about Hoogaflug?
on occasion, why do you have some?
I mean, you know, I may have a little bit of extra lying around.
Alright. I'll meet up with you at the
Yours
usual
for the right
spot.
place.
Have you ever
Very well.
gone Galumphy in the wild, listening for that Snicker snack?
Miller, are you just talking gibberish?
I'm quoting the thing.
Jabberwocky.
The thing?
Jabberwocky.
John Carpenter's thing?
Yeah, John Carpenter's Thing by Lewis Carroll.
John Carpenter's Jabberwocky.
Galumphing, Snicker snack, Vorpal blade. Those are all things that that poem made up.
Nice.
Or did it?
But
they
but
just
I've
want
seen-
you to think it's made up.
I've seen people use galumphing more often now. That's like an actual word.
I mean, it's a galumphing great word.
Aren't there games where you can get a Vorpal blade?
Yeah, well, there's one in D&D.
Yeah.
And they took the D&D one and made a magic card for it. It
Because
kills
that's
your
what
opponent
they-
instantly if you pay a bunch of mana.
That's what they D&D do.
We should find a really good card game and play that sometime.
We should play
Okay, we
Magic! I would love it if I had more people to play Magic with.
Is Magic online? Of course it is.
Yes, there's Arena.
I might give that a
Arena
shot.
is
It
free
might
and
be-
it has a tutorial in it that explains
Yeah?
the basic ropes to you.
If there's a tutorial, then I'm potentially down.
And if you have any questions, you just ask me or Miller.
Yeah. That's a maybe.
Have you played Magic before, Stoker?
Me, yes. I'll put it to you this way. When I started playing Magic, the newest set was Tempest.
Nice.
Okay.
When I was in debate club,
I have my level 1 judge certification, and I've played in a couple professional tournaments. So
Wow.
I
See,
can
this
say
is
I've
the
played.
thing. This is the thing you need to know about me in Magic, okay? I need to caution you about this right up front. Before you start playing with me, I suck a lot at Magic the Gathering.
That's okay.
Like, I know the rules inside and out. I suck real bad despite that.
When I was in junior high and I was in the debate club, I knew kids like who would play it. Like they do it over lunch, and like I learned a few of the basics by osmosis. There are like 5 elements, and you tap mana or land or whatever, and like that gives you power, and that gives you power over me. I don't know, and then you fight, and then
You're like
everybody dies.
90%. You're like 90% of the way there.
Yeah, and basically like you don't, you wait until the end to activate your trap card, and like
No, wait, hold on.
you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, believe in the heart of
You
the
have to
cards.
believe in the heart of the cards, yes. It's very... You
Well,
cannot
okay,
possibly win without
Doesn't
believing
matter
in the heart
what
of the
card game
cards.
you're playing. You say everyone says that.
It's
I've
time
seen
to
people who are
duel
playing
and
Slay
there's
the-
no backing down. Sorry.
I've seen people who play Slay the Spire and they'll say, "I believe in the heart of the cards."
That's just part of the parlance these days.
Yeah.
Is MTG like? Is it on Steam or is it standalone or browser?
Magic
Magic
Arena.
the Gathering Arena. It's standalone. It's on Windows, Mac, Android, iPhone. It's on everything.
Okay, you say it's free to play, but is there any microtransaction-y kind of stuff?
Absolutely.
Of course
Okay.
there is.
I just wanted to check.
Literally,
Sometimes...
the game that came out in 1993 was a microtransaction game. You paid for each pack, and you might get the thing you want. Like, literally, that was the precursor to microtransactions. Was
You
trading
have a
card games.
point. You have a point. Well, that's one of the reasons why I originally stopped playing MTG was because it was a money pit and I sucked.
That's the big question.
It's even worse now because they're coming out with like super premium stuff like every month now.
Mhm.
Well, the question is, could we play a game with just starter decks, or is this going to be like an
Oh yeah,
investment?
okay.
Okay.
It gives you decks to start with, and you get some free currency for like just playing a couple times a day and stuff.
Oh my
Free real
God.
estate.
Are we going to do this?
I mean, I'm gonna do it. I don't know about you, Jonas.
Rick, does this sound interesting to you?
Rick?
For Magic the Gathering? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's reasonable.
Yeah, they just had the our third visit to the Gothic horror set.
Yes, and that one tempts me because of how much Dracula shit is in it. Thank you for reminding
they had
me.
specifically Dracula IP'd like cards.
Dracula IP'd, a story of the Count being unable to reach the bathroom in time.
You know, when
Yeah.
Dracula's peeing, do you see like just a like, and you look in the mirror, like, is there just like do you see the pee coming out of nowhere, or do you see like what he drank is like in his bladder, or?
Okay, so the terrible thing about this question, Jonas, is that I have an answer for it. Because this happened in a Stephen King story. And the answer is... Of course he would. Of course he would. And the answer to your question, Jonas, is that no, you could not see inside the vampire's bladder.
Okay. So
All he saw in the mirror was a stream of red pee
right.
coming from nowhere, and he was too scared to turn around because he did not want to acknowledge the vampire in the room.
I think at that point you kind of have to.
Well, I mean, he's like, it was... This was the short story or novella. I think it was a short story that. Have you ever heard of a movie called The Night Flyer? I think it was a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, vaguely. That was 80s, right?
This was based on this.
Okay.
And he's like, I think he's like a reporter who's trying to find a serial killer who's like killing people like a vampire would, and then he finds out that the serial killer actually is a vampire, and that's why he's killing people like a vampire would.
Nice.
And he's terrified to turn around because the Night Flyer's there, and the Night Flyer's like, just like comes up behind him, and he still doesn't look at him and see his reflection, and like puts a hand on his shoulder, and he's like, "Hey guy, friendly word to the wise, stop following me."
He's like, hey, buddy. I know you like to watch me pee. It's kind of freaky. Tell the truth, it was kind of a moment for me too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We have released Sam.
Jonas, you have made this so much more cursed. Why did you take us down this road?
yeah, because it's my job. We were already in hell.
Yeah, but now we're gonna go to double hell.
Okay.
Incredible Stories number 5.
Look at that, ASCII.
Oh,
Incredible
look
Stories,
at
issue
that
5.
ASCII.
Featuring new work by Belial, Mac, Galatia, McMulsiver. Edited by Lilith and Mac. Fiction. Alexandra's Choice by Galatia. One Spiritual Law of Happiness by Belial. Non-fiction. The Blacksmith's Lost Work by Mac.
I'm kind of curious about the one spiritual law of happiness.
We will get to that. We will read all of these. Alexandra's Choice. Alexandra's Choice by Galatia. Alexandra stood before the terminal and pondered her choices. Here, within the Pyramid of Ian, the most powerful temple of her people, she was about to create a world. All she had to do was press one button. Up until this moment, it had seemed easy, or if not easy, then so necessary as to defy contemplation. Civilization had to be saved from impending catastrophe. The orangutans had failed to take steps to protect themselves, had relied on their gods for salvation that never came. The same fate could not be allowed to befall humanity. If this meant humbling herself, accepting her own death, then so be it. But death was inevitable. Life was a choice. What worried her was the ones who would fail. All the lost souls of the New World, victims of the process. Creating them, was she not also responsible for their deaths? She turned to the statue behind her, gazed at its marble form. If you are a god, Zeus, as the stories claim, then why did you create evolution? Why did you make a world that can only grow through cruelty and pain? For a moment, surely this meant death was near, she thought she heard him answer. My child, I was shaped by the gods that came before me, as you were shaped by me. The choice I had was between creation and oblivion, life and death. And I chose life, because any life is better than no life. Because as long as there is life, there is hope. If not for us, then for some generation to come. Then how are you a god if you can offer so little, she whispered, feeling death creep closer. I am a god because I take upon myself the burden of creation, the statue replied. Then we are all gods, Alexandra said, and pushed the button. As the new world came into being, death overwhelmed Alexandra. Her mind fled, and her body slowly turned to stone until she stood before the terminal as Zeus stood on his pedestal. There were no more choices now, only the hope that creation mattered.
Well, I'll be.
The One Spiritual Law of Happiness by Belial. Once upon a time there was a small lake, and on the lake was an island, and on the island a prison. In the prison lived a male human called Musky Rack. Musky was very sad, because there wasn't enough space in the prison for him to experience happiness. I must discover the one spiritual law of happiness, he said to the other prisoners, a female human called Zine, and a neutral human called Crumpier, but they didn't care. He couldn't understand how they could be so calm. One day, Musky managed to break out of his cell by biting through the bars. Now he was no longer in the prison, and for a while he was happy. But then he realized he was stuck on the little island, and he became unhappy again. So he gathered his strength and swam across the water. This is how Musky got to the valley that surrounded the lake. The valley was much bigger than the island, and there were many interesting things here. A forest where all the trees were the color of lasers, a swamp with boats in it, a singing dog, and also a city where toasters lived. For some years, Musky was absorbed by all this, and he was happy. But then he started feeling trapped again. The valley was surrounded by mountains, and soon they looked like prison walls to him. He tried climbing the mountains, and came to a bigger country, but even that was surrounded by oceans. Where was true freedom? Where was true happiness? When he'd almost lost hope, Musky met an old male human with a huge amount of white hair growing from his head. He lived in a small house by the beach, where dolphins and whales and sea elephants came to bask in the sun. He never went anywhere far from his house, but he was always happy. The old man's name was Quantum. Wise old Quantum, how can I discover the spiritual law of happiness? Musky asked. I have searched for it everywhere, but I am always trapped. You have not looked everywhere, Quantum said, for you have not looked within. Close your eyes. Musky closed his eyes. For the first time in his life, he couldn't see any obstacles. No walls, no mountains, no oceans. Space within him was without end, and he could go wherever he wanted without even moving. He smiled. Musky went back to the old prison where he'd started, and now he understood why Zine and Crumpier were always calm. They knew they had an infinity of time and space to explore within them. Together they sat in their cells and were happy and free.
Okay. Musky Rack? Musky Rack.
Blacksmith's Lost Work by Mac. Yes, his name was Musky Rack. The blacksmith is one of the most mysterious members of our community. All of us have our opinions, of course, but only the blacksmith chooses to express them purely through art. To the rest of us, Gehenna means many things at once. Create, we consume, we discuss. But the blacksmith only creates, or perhaps there is a discussion happening, but it all takes place in the realm of interactive art. The blacksmith's dedication to this one form of communication, however, only deepens one of Gehenna's greatest mysteries, the fate of the blacksmith's lost work. Jerusalem, as the lost work was called, was posted in Gehenna for only the briefest period of time. Many had not even managed to start playing it when it vanished. Some had begun and felt quite impressed, but had not managed to explore it in the depth that it seemed to require. Then suddenly it was gone. Some suggested that the blacksmith deleted it because it was somehow flawed. Others think that it was accidentally destroyed by a glitch, but that the blacksmith refuses to ever upload anything twice. Others yet, well, mainly Rockwell, think that it contained one of Elohim's secrets and was destroyed by a killer app that roams the world looking for leaks. There is also a theory that the moment someone finished it, they were granted some kind of special insight, at which point the work deleted itself. One fact remains. It's gone, and every attempt to recover it from the database has failed, as has every private message to the blacksmith asking for it to be made available again. What was Jerusalem? What was it really about? We may look for hints in the blacksmith's more recent works, we may hope the file turns up again someday, but the truth may never be known. New gallery.
The truth can never be known.
Ever.
Results are in. Drum roll. Third place. Dave with Where the Humans Live. Dave, my first placement. Woohoo! A pity it finally comes the day Uriel begins pulling this place apart. Ugh, there was a very tight competition this season for first and second place. At the end, it came down to a single deciding vote. The second place this season is Mr. Mulciber with a collection of natural history curios. Mr. Mulciber, really, I owe it all to you guys. Your lackadaisical approach to these announcements tires me. Please inform us who won. Finally, first place this season is by a single vote, and next season's leading light, the winner is, everyone seems to love this guy, it's the Blacksmith. This is Abstract Collection. Dog, I don't know why everyone keeps voting for this guy when he never shows up in person. Bit holier than thou, if you ask me. Lilith, congratulations also to all of those who voted for the Blacksmith. Be sure to check in for your rewards. Lilith, who exactly turned the vote? The Lamb had the deciding vote as it happened. Well, wait a second. You can't really...
people who voted for Blacksmith got a reward?
Yes. They explained that when I asked that in the art gallery. Which is like a very bad incentive to do. You don't want to do that.
Duh.
Again, no profile. Mr. Mulciber's theories on food. Mr. Mulciber, since Nave asked in a previous thread, I thought I'd write something about food. Attached on food. Kaiju, weird, awesome stuff, thanks. Nave, I feel smarter now, smiley face. Dog, what I don't get is how so many of them didn't understand that they were machines. Every day they went around processing matter to extract energy, and they didn't realize? This has Talos Principle stamped all over it. Borg, perhaps they simply aspired to something more than just being food processing machines. Dog, that's still what they were. Borg, not if they chose to be more. Lamb, I'm glad we don't have to deal with all that. Garrett, we may have to when we get out of here. Belial, there is no out of here. Orc, don't start fighting, folks. You know we depend on each other. Mr. Mulciber's theories are fascinating, give us an insight into the world that was, but we shouldn't forget the world that is, the world that we built here. Mr. Mulciber's theories on food. Food is something that was incredibly central to the human experience, yet seems completely absent from ours, even though we are so similar in so many ways. Humans required fuel. They got this fuel by consuming other living beings, of which there was a great variety in their world. Without fuel, they didn't merely slow down or temporarily stop functioning, as when a power source is removed from a turret, but physically decayed in a way that could not be fixed. This meant that they had to constantly seek new sources of fuel, at least 3 times a day. They also had to deal with those elements of their fuel that their bodies could not process. These were excreted through 2 orifices between their legs. The latter subject matter was the source of many taboos and also a great deal of humor, though this resulted in frequent controversy. The most famous artist to engage with this subject matter was called Scatman John on account of his specialization.
God damn it.
One of the ingenious things our human ancestors did was to transform the chore of fuel-seeking into a source of pleasure. Since parts of their bodies respond to chemical configurations by producing sensations, they use this trait to create a truly stunning variety of foods, each having a different so-called taste. Foods were available in widely distributed fueling stations, which also provided excrement removal facilities, so food became a source of pleasure. However, the inefficiencies of food distribution in human society frequently led to significant shortages for sections of the human population. There were attempts to rectify this, ranging from moral appeals to struggles for systemic change, but I do not know if they succeeded before the end.
Lol, no.
So the actual difficult part of this DLC is getting all the stars, because the star puzzles are even...
Nice. I like those.
Me, the honor is sufficient of belonging to the universe, such a great universe and so grand a scheme of things. Not even death can rob me of that honor. Nothing can alter the fact that I have lived, I have been I, if for ever so short a time.
But how can you know that you have been you? How can we prove that your existence even happened?
Okay, we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah, see, it's easy. You just have to consider your face.
Your face is a solipsistic quandary. I don't. Did I use solipsistic correctly?
I don't think you did, but that's okay. I believe the actual word you were looking for was existential, but that's okay. We love you anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you exist or not, so...
I don't. Plot twist. Stoker was a ghost the entire time.
I thought you were a vampire.
I'm a
He's a ghost vampire.
The world is a vampire.
What if... what if Stoker had, like, other universal monster friends, all of which were missing one item of clothing like he was? Like, he's the vampire with no pants, and then you got, like, the mummy with no shirt. You know, the Frankenstein monster with no panties. I don't know.
The Frankenstein monster with no panties? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
He has no panties. He's very
I'm just
sad
making
about
sure I heard that correctly.
I
just
don't
wanted to be
know.
sure.
it. Look. Don't judge me.
I mean, here's the problem is after you get you get the one with no shirt and the one with no pants. After that, it's just kind of like, well, does it really matter?
It matters to them.
It's like, oh no, it's the Frankenstein with no mittens.
No mittens.
It's the Invisible Man with no sunglasses. Actually, I guess the Invisible Man, technically, depending on what he's doing, is pretty much absent everything, isn't he?
Yeah. The Invisible Man with no light absorption. I don't know.
Did you hear about the quote-unquote controversy about Hotel Transylvania 4 that happened in the fandom?
No,
Oh.
well,
So, like, the 4th Hotel Transylvania movie, which I don't think has come out yet, is apparently about some sort of potion or mad science-y thing that can turn humans into monsters and monsters into humans. So there's going to be a lot of shenanigans about that. And the potion makes the Invisible Man visible for the first time in the whole
I've seen this clip.
series. Yeah, and like apparently the fandom of these movies, which is a thing that exists, has been really low-key thirsty for the Invisible Man all this time because he's got this really suave, charismatic kind of personality. He's voiced by David Spade, by the way.
So I was saying
okay.
he's just David Spade.
Yeah. And they got real mad when they finally did the reveal of what he looks like. And he's like this short, kind of chubby, balding, middle-aged guy with like
Nice.
Thick rim glasses,
poofy-
red head.
yeah, big poofy curly red hair, and like they were like, people got so mad about that. They were like, no, give us back our hot Invisible Man.
God.
The one that we had cannoned.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's the kind of thing, right? If I'm the creative director on that, I'd just like look at that whole discussion and be like, lol, nerds. Get wrecked.
You monster.
Get dumped on.
You
Dunked
can't,
on.
because you can't acquiesce to that kind of thing. Like, it's not a feasible thing in the long term.
The only time you should ever acquiesce to that kind of pressure is when you're making the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
When you are making an abject incorrect decision, sure.
I'm looking forward to that.
To Sonic 2.
Sonic 2, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, but you know, I'm Sonic trash from way back in the day, so
I mean,
like I may have hinted once or twice that has something to do with the course that my life ultimately took that led me to this moment in time.
Pat.
I may have hinted that there may have even been a specific character that had an outsized influence on me in this direction.
Pat.
No. Who?
Obviously was Rebecca.
Oh,
Rebecca.
I thought you were gonna say it was the fucking French guy, whatever his name was.
Oh, Antoine?
No, not even as
God.
a joke, man. God.
Man, I remember when I was a kid and I was like, Antoine's funny, and I remember coming back as an adult and just Antoine's unendurable.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Thank you, Rick, for that.
Didn't they do something mean to him in the comic? Like, chop off his entire body or something?
Yes, they chopped off Antoine's entire body. He's just a screaming head for the entirety of the Archie comics. What are you asking me, Jonas? What did you hear that may or may not have been true?
Like, I don't know, I vaguely remember reading on the wiki, like, his mustache fell off and he went into this dark
He doesn't
period.
have a mustache, and this is where you go, yeah, because it fell off.
Yeah, because it fell.
Okay, like, Antoine's character was 100% improved in the comic because there really was nowhere for him to go but up to begin with. Like, the comics had their ups and downs and their moments of good and bad, but Antoine's character...
Recycle bin code is a bit funky, but it should do its job even at huge. I've integrated it with the main something progress report.
Excuse me.
Main and F. So it's a string formatter?
It just
Is it?
seems to be just like a chunk from an email. Yes, sir.
Right. Sorry, I'm thinking about the and F parentheses because that's a method signature for something that returns a address.
Yeah, well, those emails are largely corrupted. that was from.
Hey Miller, did you know that you're a nerd?
I am a nerd, and I really like owning it.
Hey, Stoker.
Yeah.
Did you know you're also a big nerd?
I thought for sure you were gonna be like, "Hey Stoker, why don't you tell us some more about Antoine from Sonic the Hedgehog?"
No. See, I'm a nerd. What Stoker is doing, he's a geek.
Is that how it works?
Well, let's not split hairs over this.
Kidding. It's probably somebody would probably make a distinction. I don't care to.
I'm sure somebody would, but somebody would make a distinction between Flubadoo and Hebabob, and we all know that those are
Thank you
basically
very
synonyms.
much for that.
I remember reading that, like, nerds are the awkward ones, and geeks are the ones who are cool about it.
Okay,
Like-
well, if we want to go, because you're gonna get me started again. If we want to go with classical textbook definitions of these terms, it was better to be a nerd than a geek, because do you know where the term geek comes from?
No.
Have you
I
ever
do.
heard of a... Rick does. Has anyone who isn't Rick ever heard of a geek show?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so like back in the days, I mean, everybody knows what a freak show is. You have like deformed people on display for the amusement of the masses.
Mm-hmm.
A geek show was where people would do like the real freaky gross out stuff to make audiences squirm, like biting the heads off live chickens and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And like, so geek was a really pejorative term for someone who was worse than a freak in the eyes of the socially more popular, shall we say.
Nice.
Is that the version that you were going to share as well, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. Then we're on the same page.
All right.
Yeah, you learned something today, didn't you?
You know what no one ever says anymore? Like, I haven't heard this since the 90s. No one ever says dweeb.
I've been known to occasionally say dweeb. I'm more likely to say twerp.
Twerp.
Twerp's a great word.
It is, but it doesn't have the same kind of connotation. When someone's a twerp...
It doesn't, it's not violent enough.
Yeah, I think too many people nowadays hear that word and all they can think of is Fairly Odd Parents.
Or isn't like Twerp TWRP also like a band that Danny and Brian sing with?
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, but you have to be a real geek to know that one.
Yeah, well, takes one to know a nerd. Yeah, it's getting real tonight.
You're tearing this family apart!
Go into this house. You insult my family. How dare you? What gives you the right?
Sounds like you said you insert my family. I'm like,
That's what I heard at first too. I'm like,
where's
are you implying this is
Not what I said.
Anyway,
whose turn is next?
I've been told that the best way to grow a relationship, you have to find somebody who's right for you, is find somebody who's broken in the same way you are.
Yeah, that's accurate.
you know, I mean, I'm not sure if I necessarily buy that, but all right.
No, Jonas, it's completely true. I heard it on the internet.
Tonight on Loveline. Anyway.
God, Loveline.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm dating myself.
Dating yourself a little bit there, aren't you?
I was supposed to say, you called me a zoomer. I'm gonna call you.
Hey. Watch it there, Sonny.
Sonny Jim.
What are you gonna do? You gonna cancel me? You gonna cancel me on your social medias? That's what I thought.
I'm making a call-out post on my Twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
He pissed on my wife.
This is I don't know if Jonas knows this or not.
What?
The Shadow the Hedgehog Eggman's announcement.
Oh God! No, I don't think.
You're not familiar with this? Remind me to send this to you later.
Okay, send me that to me later.
It's great. It's this is a real-time fan dub of Sonic Adventure 2, and they just go off the goddamn rails. Especially the guy who plays Eggman is hilarious.
He steals every scene he's in, and it's especially good because he's one of the ones in this playthrough who's never played the game before and doesn't know anything that's gonna happen. Like, he's the one who nearly passed out when the pyramid opened up and a rocket ship took off out of it. Which, in retrospect, Sonic Adventure 2 is fuck wild.
It was a wild game.
I
remember loving it as a kid, but looking back at it, I'm just like, wow, this game was insane.
Yeah,
like clinically so.
I think my brain's done.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All right. Well, join us next time for probably more Talos as we inch further to hell. And also
situated well in the bosom of hell.
Yes.
Yeah. Snuggled up tight in the smoochy oochie bosom of hell. We're well up hell's butt. I don't know. We're something. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just improvic.
Well, Jonas, perhaps you need to be improving.
Yeah, maybe I need to stop. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you next time.
BB.